It's Welcome to the Business as Unusual show. It is in fact Wednesday. We're halfway through the week, although it's only been 2 days. So we had the bank holiday, so it's good news. We're closer to the end of the week than we were this time last week, which just seems odd. But anyway, we have a fantastic guest on the show with Steve Kreeger from Red Bullet, so we're going to get him on shortly. We've got some more challenges, some more quizzes. If you're new to this channel, my name's Luke. I'm the CEO of Sleeping Giant Media, and we're pushing out loads of content on our YouTube channel, on our LinkedIn, so do follow, get involved in the conversation. There's going to be a chat that's happening as well, so do feel free to comment on YouTube. We're also live across Twitch as well, so again, get involved in the conversation, and stay for the quiz to see if I can do better than I did on Friday when I challenged a voiceover artist and I attempted to do a commercial for Marks and Spencer's, and I don't think it came across quite the way I was hoping it would. So without further ado, let's get the show underway. Hi guys, and welcome back. Kevin, good to see you in the chat, regular on the show. Thank you very much for tuning in again, and please do share this on your social channels. It'd be great to get more people involved in the conversation as we go. So I'm going to introduce our guest now, Steve Kreeger. How are we doing, sir?
Hi, I'm all right, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, very well. Just enjoying this weather. It makes a real difference, I think.
I think it does. It's significant. I'm in a garage at the moment, which is, well, converted. I call
That's
it the
your
garage. Yeah, it's a bit weird. We converted it a couple of years ago to be an office, but it's just already a white walled out room. But
it's better than
a little projector in here, Xbox.
Mate, that's what I'm talking
set of
about.
Decks,
See,
space in my little boys' room.
It's the man cave, isn't it, that you created there?
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
I think this, they're not the first guest to outdo me in terms of office setup. So this is why I had to quickly go to the office, steal some purple paint, and try to paint the background. Just try and.
I was going to say it's looking very on brand.
Yeah.
Did I see a previous? I don't know if it was a previous episode or something on LinkedIn. Is it your parents' bedroom?
That is very correct. That is very correct, Steve. Yeah. My parents
Harsh.
they're stuck in Corfu of all places.
Right.
And so I have told them that I will convert the bedroom into a filming studio. So I've sort of packed up their bed, shoved it behind the wall, and turned this into a filming studio. So they've got nowhere to come back to, which I'm gonna have to break the news to them at some point.
Whiteboard and
whiteboard, productive,
no.
Exactly what you want in your bedroom, I think. So.
Yeah. Plan the grandkids stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I mean, they're both teachers, so that might be something that they can get into. For people that don't know you, could you do a quick introduction to yourself and the business as well?
Yes, of course. My name's Steve. I am the UX director of Red Bullet, and we. How old are we? We're 15, I think.
Wow.
Almost 15 and a half years old. We've been going typically as a web agency, as a traditional web agency over the years, and probably in the last 3 to 4 years, we've specialised very specifically into and deliberately into more strategy and consultancy around user experience and the wider customer experience across digital and the influence into and out of that.
Awesome, and you do some
fantastic
work as well. Obviously, get to see some of the stuff that you guys do. It's absolutely top notch. Questions straight into the kind of the nitty gritty. How are things going to change in terms of UX? Do you think in sort of the future? So, is there anything that this kind of the world that we're in at the moment, the habits that we're forming because of the sort of isolation or the the lockdown that we're going to then take forward, and how it's going to impact sort of usability and sort of the way we use websites?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think there's a massive increase, as we all know, in terms of e-commerce use in just the last sort of 2 months, because people are at home and can't get certain products because shops are shut, or because it's difficult to get certain things, even if you physically can get them because of queues, or you don't feel like you should go out, or you can't. So I think there's been an increase, obviously, in e-commerce, but I think there'll also be a transition, is my gut feel, from just traditional basket-based stuff on e-commerce to something that's a bit more of an experience, something that's a bit more As we know, there's that whole physical side of e-commerce that's I believe, going to take off dramatically in the next 2 to 3 years in terms of drone drops and stuff like that. I don't know how the whole drone license things all work.
I'm very excited about that.
It's totally going to change how we think about shopping online. And you think about, say, Argos. I haven't shopped from Argos, but you see all their adverts for the kind of same day purchase delivery thing. There's obviously next day from Amazon on almost anything you could ever want, from garden forks to underwear to toothbrushes and everything digital and in between. And I think that transition is definitely going to keep going in terms of the physical experience that we expect more from digital. We expect more from what it's going to give back to us. And I know you guys obviously work in particularly around Google and that side of it and the massive partners. And I think that shift away from websites being the focus of what you do as a company, whether you sell online, whether you provide a service, to more being, if you need that much more, you end up on the website.
Yeah.
But the majority of experience that we're finding is actually a lot of people tend to have a lot less traffic on their website from people browsing over the last number of years. And I think that's just going to continue as people expect more and more from things like search engines or voice search or voice experience with things and stuff like that. And I think that's going to shift as well. I could go on as well. I think AR, VR, mixed reality stuff's going to take off, which is exciting.
You're speaking my language. And
I think it is. It's massive.
On the drone stuff. So firstly, Kevin is a drone pilot in the chat. Good work, Kevin. Nice. What you said about that, Steve, in terms of delivery using a drone, I'm trying to make that happen now. So I've got a drone, DJI Mavic Pro, and I've got a friend who lives just over there, and I keep trying to land on his lawn so that we can kind of like communicate. But it's just below the hill, so I lose signal at the last minute, which is devastating. So I'm kind of really worried if I commit to it, because it then has this auto return feature. So I'm trying to bring that into reality, kind of right now, which could be good fun. But actually, on the usability thing, what's your thoughts? Because again, like, almost search in itself features as a UX piece to a degree, because actually we've got to control the message that people see earlier on in that kind of process.
Yeah, sure. And I think that's probably in the last year, that's a big, more so in the last year, but over the last few years, that's a big part of what we've started to push our clients to understand. Because I think, and generally the UX community, I think, has typically over the years concentrated on when someone gets to that website, you end up start exploring how can you make them feel good? How can you make that button really obvious? How can you convert a particular soft or long conversion to an action? And that's all great. That is UX. But UX starts the minute they type into, in terms of that company's experience and that engagement, starts the minute they type their search phrase or query into a search engine. Because the response that comes back from the searches that are found for that website is the copy that's put there, the UX copy and the micro copy and the metadata that's pumped in is just as important as actually the button styles and the physical experience on the page. It's all got to tie in. It kind of comes into a little bit that you guys sing a lot more than we do around PPC and conversion journey there. And if you kind of click an ad and then the title of the page you end up on is a completely different title to the title of the ad and it's slightly disjointed, it's the same sort of effect from a UX point of view. So that sort of wider awareness of what I guess we call to our clients, I suppose, the wider customer experience on digital. We talk about that a lot because I think that's definitely going to, it is already, and it's going to keep improving, I think, and impacting the way that people expect more and more from online. And apps as well, I think, same sort of stuff, because I think apps are becoming a little bit more. Do you think apps went down a peg or two when web apps became quite specific? Because I went through a phase on my phone of having a handful of apps, and now I've got shed loads of apps again. And when it first came out and I got the first iPhone and those first iterations of iPhone, I ended up with loads because there's apps. There's an app for pretending I'm drinking a beer. And you end up doing all this stuff, but then I've
got a sort of a system actually, which I'm happy to share with you, because this was Sean Staunton, Sleeping Giant Media, told me his little system. And what I do is I put them in colours, okay? So nice. I put them in colours. And what I do is I download apps and then I put them on my secondary screen. And then if I don't use them after a period of time, I delete them. If I do use them, I put them into my colour coding. and then it makes me feel a lot happier because I can
That is
use
nice.
the brand recognition to then help me navigate quicker. Top tip. So yeah,
Noted.
I think the the app space is kind of it's got to have a function, otherwise it's just the gimmicky stuff. Well, again, I guess it depends on how new you are to technology. So some of the apps it'll be really, for some people it's really exciting. For probably maybe you and I that have been in the game for a bit longer, it's like yeah we've done that before. So I guess that's that evolution. I've got a I'm going to jump to a new screen. This is a new piece of tech. Hold on one second. See if it goes wrong. It doesn't. We're all right. We're still working. And talking about user experience, I'm just tying this together seamlessly, like a presenter should. I'm going to run a video, and I want to get your view on how this will impact user experience.
And he's found himself in what is the biggest game of his career, and he might have some work to do now as Hakimi breaks free.
To Dortmund, subsequently to Paris Saint-Germain, break free into Diallo.
And so that is kind of a brief clip that's obviously going around at the moment where they're playing, obviously, the Bundesliga. The Bundesliga started up, and actually they're playing some of it with piped in sounds and some of it with without any sounds. What's your thoughts on that? Apparently they're not doing it in the Premier League. They're not going to be doing it in the Premier League, is what I've heard.
I get the idea of it, because it's like I used to play football, not at any good level, but and I think whenever you do any sport and you've got people cheering you on for whatever it is, there is some degree of like resonance with your playing or with your sport with a crowd, definitely, and things like the marathon and stuff. And so I think I get it, because actually it does give you a bit of a boost. But if you can't see anyone that's making that noise, surely there's some like weird
psychological kind of like, I saw when they scored, they still ran into the corner and sort of slid in, and I was waiting to see what was going to happen. He sort of like slid in the corner, looked at and then was like, and turned around back to his teammates, and they all kind of bundled him in the corner. But what do you think? So for example, usability and the way that changes behaviour. Do you think there's going to be as many yellow cards and red cards because of it?
Well, that is a good question. I think I don't know. I think there is probably a lot of eyes in terms of externally watching like refs and stuff at the moment as well, to see how they play their game differently. I think probably at every level when the lower leagues start back as well, and but certainly Bundesliga obviously right now being one of, I know Belarus I think are doing some stuff, but Bundesliga being the only major league in Europe certainly that have gone back. I think there is a lot of eyes on how they're doing it and what they're doing and who is and isn't wearing a mask on the sideline, and I reckon the refs are probably going to be absolutely scrutinised as well. And do they have VAR in Germany?
Do you know what? I don't know. Generally. I don't. I think they do. I think they do. It's a different implementation, though. I think it's a different implementation, if I remember correctly. They do have the monitors. They had the monitors that you run over to the side. I think.
The pit.
Yeah. Whereas obviously we just had sending it to the kind of the control room where they then deliberate for 25 minutes and come back.
Yeah.
We haven't argued about that for a long time though, so that's
true, yeah.
Slightly
probably because there's been no football for a long time. But
yeah, well, I can't wait to get back to it. I can't wait to get back to that VAR argument. It's just and also Brexit we haven't spoken about for a while, so I'm quite excited to get back to talking about.
Quite excited about getting back to Brexit.
Yeah, well, I mean, it feels like a breath of fresh air, doesn't it?
Yeah, to be fair, yeah.
Given everything else that's going on right now, let's talk about Brexit. But no, let's not. Please, let's not. We can save that conversation for another day. So I've got another screen. Okay, another button. I'm going to show a quick look here, and this one is from TikTok.
No, he's
Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog?
No.
Can I pet that dog?
No, he's
Can I
sleeping.
pet that dog?
I don't know what to say about that. You have kids, you have TikTok, and talk to me about it. What are you doing with TikTok these days? What are you up to?
Yeah, I mean, I have an account on TikTok. I think I've done about 3 videos on it. Don't go and find me. You don't want to see those.
We now do. Now that you've just said that, we very much do.
They're not very good. But I think that like TikTok is it almost became that peer pressured thing. Like when Facebook came out, it was like, oh, it's quite exciting. There's this thing called Facebook or whatever, and years ago, obviously, and we all got on it. And then Instagram was like, oh, it's a really cool way to share photos. And then TikTok was like, what the hell is TikTok? Is that like a pretend Vine or the new? And then you kind of have a look at it, you're like, oh my word, I've just spent 2 hours on TikTok doing nothing.
What do you do with that video? So Sam in the chat has said, what is the answer? Like, can you pet that dog? I mean, what happens next?
Can't pet the dog, no.
You can't pet
There's a great one where I think it's like a little sausage dog, Dachshund, is that what they're called? Up at a window. That's brilliant. That's the best one because they move his mouth and everything with the animation you can do.
See, I've seen the.
Can I pet that dog?
Oh, can you do that again, please, Steve? Go.
No, there you go.
I did be quite. I spoke over it slightly, which I'm now disappointed because we can't use that as a soundbite.
Can I pet that dog?
Yes, I think we got that one. Alex, you can edit that, and I won't be the only person that does something stupid. I can't believe where the time is going. It's the halfway mark. Yeah, we've got a new mark. There's Wahlberg. He's joined us today for the show, which is very nice to see. But we are quickly running out of time, I'd like to move into our challenge for today. Slightly different. We're not doing a voiceover. Because I know that you're a bit of an expert artiste, and I had a year's worth of training at CIAD, which is Kent Institution for Art and Design.
I haven't done any of that. I just self-taught. That's the.
But you do it though. Like you do more of it than I do. I just draw. I don't know what I draw. I don't really draw anything, in fact, anymore. So, but I still think I can do really well. Like going with loads of confidence. We're gonna go.
I go low and then.
Yeah, no, I like it. Hang on a second. I've got some controls here. So yes. Drawing, you can open up your tab now. So, guys watching, this is an application called Jamboard. And after this as well, Steve, I think you've got another one. Is it Miro? I think you mentioned before. That's
Miro, yeah, I love Miro.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So this is Jamboard. We just found this. This is a Google app thing that you can use. And we're going to do the best drawing of a dolphin. Are you ready?
Am I left or right?
You are right. Go right. I'll go left.
Okay.
Okay. You ready? Steady.
It's with a mouse as well. She's mad.
Okay.
Okay, go on then.
And
Here we go.
Oh. Okay. Here we go. And yes, it's looking like a dolphin. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, this is.
Where's yours? I can't see yours
It's
appearing.
so hard.
Where's yours? Yours is not appearing.
Is it not?
I can't see yours on the screen.
Mine's appearing.
Oh, technical difficulties. It might suddenly sync. Are you logged out or something?
Can't sync your changes.
I'll quickly press that.
Oh no! Hang on. Let me refresh.
I
can see yours.
I'll finesse mine.
Yeah.
I'll finesse mine whilst you're working on yours.
Excellent. Right. I'm gonna go back in now. Can you see me now?
I cannot see you now. I'm gonna start drawing. I can see yours now. I can see yours. It's appearing on one of my screens, but not on the other screen. Technology is failing us.
Start again.
This isn't working as well as I'd hope.
I'm
gonna draw one for you, and it's just gonna be. I'm gonna do you. I'm gonna just draw you as a self-portrait rather than a dolphin because no one can see your dolphin at this point. So I'm just currently. Oh. Your dolphin suddenly appearing over the top.
I'm gonna have to.
Okay, I quickly remove mine. I think we can put this. We're going to put that to a vote, people. I'm pretty happy with mine, and I'm going to let you into a secret. I'm using an iPad with a pen.
Oh, come on!
Any competitive advantage is well within the rules, Steve. You should have checked the T's and C's.
I'm just using this. Oh, come on!
Right.
I was told I wasn't allowed to use anything but a mouse. I'm going to go get my whack on.
Were you really told? Oh, first person to draw a puppy. Go.
What? Oh, I've got to scroll along.
Yeah, click on something. There we go.
Let's go for.
Oh no. I don't know really how.
This is hard.
Okay, there he is. There he goes. Yours is pretty good, mate, I have to say. Considering you're on a mouse. That is pretty good.
I like the nose and the mouth on yours. That's not bad effort.
mate.
I've got to put some eyes in there.
Did you know that there's also a feature on this that can it works out what you're drawing, and then it will actually allow you to sort of auto find, and then it'll kind of create it for you, which is pretty incredible.
That's quite cool. Is that what you're using?
That is not. That's 100%. That is authentic right there. Can I pet that dog? Question in the chat. You can pet that dog. Let's move to the final one. This is drawing Mickey Mouse. Ready, steady, go. Okay. No, crikey. I think I've just done something to the screen.
I'm gonna go for a different colour.
Oh no. I feel like it needs to be round.
Oh, you deleted mine.
Have I deleted? Oh, sorry, mate.
I think so. So I'll start again. I see the game. Delete Steve's drawings. I get it.
That'll work. Okay. Big smiley face from the Mickey Mouse. There he is. And we get some colour in there. Get some colour in. Have you seen Bob Ross?
Is there like a?
Have you seen?
Yeah, I love Bob Ross.
I love a bit of Bob Ross.
His tutorials are the nuts.
They are awesome. I remember that back at school. Oh, yours is well. Oh, you've done well with that. I see what you're doing there. See, I'm gonna copy you now.
I can't do it.
No, you've done well. I forgot about these little.
It's so hard with the. How do you colour? There must be like a fill option, is there?
There's a sort of different brush
What's this
options
do?
up the top. Has he got one tooth? Has he got one? Have you drawn him with one tooth?
It's a tongue.
How is it?
I don't know what's going on. How do I? There we are.
Okay, there we go. We are going to. That was apparently Danny was saying that is. It was 1-1 after the first two rounds. Now we have to put it to a vote. So, chat, what do we think? Me or Steve? Alex, what, you voted for Steve?
It's just insane. They're doing this with a mouse. Ridiculous.
That is a good quality.
Yeah, I think. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate that.
Yeah, and I will put that.
Glitchiness adds to my drawing. I think that's fair to say.
I think those are pretty special, to be fair. And I'm going to have a quick flip through there. Just have a recap on what we've got. We'll put this to the viewing public, guys. So when we put this out on a sort of a review, mine's on the left. So Luke on the left, Steve on the right. We go to the next one. Luke on the left, Steve on the right. And the dolphin, of course, where we kick things off.
Dolphin was.
Yours is kind of like a starfish, if I'm honest. It
kind of looks more like Donald Trump's toupee, but blue.
I feel like you should convert that.
Imagine just a face of Trump underneath. Yeah, I could do.
Just quickly draw. Whilst we're talking, just quickly draw Donald Trump's face underneath, and we can get some. See if it's got an orange colour that I can help you draw it with. But yeah, so that was the challenge for today. There's a lot of support for you in the chat, Steve. A lot of support for you. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit disappointed. Lucy, appreciate the support. Thank you very much for calling that out. But I think that was more of a sympathy vote rather than anything else. So yet again, I have failed in my challenge, and you have now turned it into Donald Trump. And now I would vote for you as well, Steve. You have just created something amazing right there.
There he is.
Yeah.
That's what I planned all along.
It's impressive, mate. It's very impressive.
Not really into dolphins.
We should have gone with Donald Trump, but it gets. We try to steer away from politics in the show. So yeah, it's. Although Donald Trump, is it really political? I don't know. Is he? It's just an absolute lovely person. Moving on, Steve. Now we've done the drawing, and it looks like you have won that quiz. That is now two challenges in a row that I have lost. So that is good. As we move on to Friday, I don't know what the challenge will be, but we'll hopefully find something that I can do slightly better at. What was the program you mentioned, Miro? What was that all about?
Yeah, Miro. Yeah, so we haven't used it for too long, but Miro is like a beefed up version of what we've just seen in Jamboard. So it's subscription based. I think there's a basic free version. Get a couple of boards, but it's essentially an online whiteboard. So but with no limitations. You can add anything into it, documents, which then you can scroll through within the thing rather than having to download or open them.
Oh, that's cool.
It's an online collaborative tool, so a little bit like you can use kind of Google Docs for copy collaboration. You can use Miro for, say, when we run our persona workshops.
Oh, nice.
or whiteboard sessions, we're kind of mapping out user journeys, or sessions for understanding the differences between certain UI implications of changing around. So we'd kind of pull that apart and we'd put things on a board, and it's never the same as face to face with a client.
Sure, but it's pretty cool though.
A load of stuff, but yeah, it's super cool, and we really enjoy it. And I think it's probably the key tool that we've jumped into during this period of time, beyond anything else.
Okay.
And I think I listened to one or two others of your of these shows, and a lot of people are saying I think there was a chat where a guy was saying about how actually there's a lot of businesses that are kind of already geared up for this time, and they sort of didn't really realise it, and they're just cracking on and they're doing quite well. And I think we're sort of one of those because we're digital, similar possibly to you guys, and it's been quite good. So, but there are key fundamentals where we can't run workshops with a client and we can't do certain face-to-face stuff as a team. So Miro's been brilliant.
We'll have to check that one out. And there was another
definitely worth you.
There was another comment here that says about you're working on your own tool. So you've taken some of the time to work on your own tool deck. So what's that all about? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so it's not released yet. It's more for our internal use, to be honest, only initially. And if we're confident in actually the benefit of that to a team like us, then we might try and sort of promote that beyond just an internal use. But essentially, for years, absolutely years, we've never quite got project management right. Some of our clients might tell us that a bit more honestly than I would say it. But we haven't. And I think that's something we've always been trying to get better at. But also, it's the tools that sit around that, especially as our industry changes so rapidly, that never really seem to be how we need them.
Yeah.
And so what we kind of have talked about for quite a while is, let's just build our own thing then. That's what we do. So why can't we do that? And so we've never really got round to it. And so we are weirdly busier during this period, which we don't attribute to COVID-19 situation. It doesn't seem to be the work we're getting is related significantly, but we seem to be a lot busier in the last 2 or 3 months than we have been for a number of years in a short space of time, which is really exciting. But probably also the worst time to then start building your own tool. so we're like insanely busy because of that as well. So because we don't want to, when we start something, we don't want to stop it, and at the same time we know that the benefit of it could be really good.
Yeah.
So essentially, it's a project management platform that sings massively to how we work. It's facilitated in how we talk and how we communicate to clients through kind of sprint-based languages, and in terms of design sprint as opposed to agile development, if anyone is wondering what that is. But yeah, it's more how we want to work, and hopefully it'll be a massive asset to us as a team.
That's awesome. I was just trying to load up the game to conclude our session with, but it's failing. So we can't play the heads up game, which means I'm afraid, Steve, you're not going to get a chance to win a limited edition Sleeping Giant Media Cup. You can't even challenge the leaderboard. I know the leaderboard with Jenny Kitchen from Yo-Yo. I know that you guys are going to go head to head, but it looks like, I'm afraid, that we're going to have to go, because this, I think, is our last show this month, which means Jenny is going to be the owner of that. I'm devastated for you.
That is the only reason I came.
I know. I'm so sorry.
Genuinely gutted.
I'm going to blame. I don't want to say it out loud because I know that Sam Caesar's watching, and I know he hates Apple, and I love Apple. And
I'll blame Apple.
Yeah, it's Apple. That's what it is. Stupid. I'm so sorry, but that does give us a quick moment. So to shout out your podcast that you've been doing as well. How's that been for you?
Yeah. We need to do another episode, actually. Yeah, one of these things, when you get busy, you keep forgetting to do all the other stuff. But, yes, we started a podcast 4 episodes ago now. So I think we've got another one lined up. We'll release later this week, probably.
Awesome.
Called The Bullet Bar, if you want to
Bullet
find
Bar.
that. All your outlets.
Awesome.
The Bullet Bar. And it's like a little neon sign.
Amazing.
And yeah, that's just us. Effectively, the concept is myself, Holly, who joined us just before Christmas as a new UX designer here, and Chris mainly, and then we're bringing some of the other teams, some guests and stuff, and we talk about what we do, how we do it, and hopefully occasionally give a little bit of an insight as well as some value. But half the time we're just rabbiting on about random funny things, little stories we've had, and bizarre facts of the day from Chris, which is quite funny.
Sounds like we should get involved with that. I haven't heard an episode yet, but I will keep my ears open for the next one. Danny says it looks really slick as well, so good work with that one. Final thing, any businesses that you wanted to shout out who are doing an awesome job during sort of lockdown, just sort of give them a shout out, and we'll tag them into the content.
Yeah, so I think that in terms of, there's a few larger businesses, but that I follow, I don't really know them, but I think Social Chain guys are doing some good stuff. Goat Agency, as most of us know who they are, if not know them, doing some cool stuff. I think in Kent, there's just a couple of our clients I think are doing. It's been tough for a lot of small businesses this period, and for loads of different reasons. And I think I probably almost want to shout out those that are having to and are doing really well, almost at the pivoting, because actually they're the people that do really need both the support as well as actually massive kudos for keeping going, smashing it still. So people like Kent Trainers we work with really, and I know you guys have spoken to them over time. People like I think the guys at Knowlton do some really good stuff. Obviously you guys do some really good stuff. You kind of do everything from podcasts to vodcasts to other casts.
We just cast. I got excited. Yeah. We love tech. We got involved with the tech pretty early. That was
you got to.
That was good fun.
Anything comes out, got to get involved.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, I think there's some really good stuff going on. It's good fun.
Awesome. Well, that brings us to the end of the show, mate. And thank you very much for taking part in the drawing. It looks like you absolutely destroyed me with that one. So well done. Congratulations. I love losing. It's one of my favourite things. I'm going to go and start practicing my drawing in case that's the quiz that the guys put forward for me next time. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us, and best of luck with the development of the deck. Look forward to see what that looks like.
Thank you.
Nice.
Appreciate that. And it looks like there's a new hashtag, support for Steve. Thanks, Danny.
You've started something up there. Mug for Steve.
Mug for Steve. That's going down.
Give him a mug. Give him a mug. All right. Okay, Danny, give him a mug.
I'll give him my address.
Okay. Yeah, just share it online right now in front of everyone. We'll send it to the garage. It's one for the garage. So, okay. Yeah. Mug for Steve. Congratulations, sir. You didn't even do it, but you're going to get yourself a mug. Well done. And
brilliant. I'm sure Danny can't even spell it, but thanks, Danny. I shouldn't say that. He'll stop sending me a mug. Mug pierced.
Amazing. Guys, we're going to be back again on Friday. We have got Flo from Visit Kent, so we're going to be finding out about all the things that they've been doing to help support the businesses of Kent. Really challenging time for the tourism sector, so it would be a really, really interesting one. And we'll kickstart, I believe. Oh no, that might be the final one for the month. That could be a chance for Flo to win that. I think we're still in the same month. I've just kind of lost track of time. But anyway, we'll be back again Friday 4:30. So look forward to seeing you then. Thank you very much. Give us a like, give us a share, and see you soon. Cheers.